Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services, continuing our transmissions online weekly, as well as meeting in person on the first and third Sunday of each month at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. Presently, on the first and third Sundays of every month, we deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. At the conclusion of our service, we welcome you to connect in fellowship. Join us in person on the appropriate Sundays or on Zoom every week. If this will be your first time joining us online, please send an email to info@csldenver.org with fellowship in the subject line. We'll reply with the Zoom link. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
Presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this
Good morning. My name is Tim Hancock. I'm a practitioner here at Center for Spiritual Living Denver. And I invite you to close your eyes for the invocation, knowing that surely the presence of God is in this place. And as we move into this service, we know that all is blessed. We are blessed with the technology of Diego, as well as our support from our beloved practitioner, Alice, and the words and the music from Lynn Floyd, as well as my reading. And we are certainly blessed with the wisdom of Reverend Elzia. We move into this service knowing that we are touched by the hand of God as it moves in, through, and around each and every one of us, whether we are tuning into this broadcast or whether we are in nature, in a mosque, in a synagogue, in a temple, wherever we choose to recognize the one divine presence. And as we move into the rest of today, we just simply move with the grace, with the divinity, with the consciousness that we currently are feeling. For we know that we are blessed. We know this service is blessed, and we are just absolutely grateful. And so it is. And our reading today is an affirmative prayer from Dr. Ernest Holmes. So again, if you feel comfortable, I encourage you to close your eyes and to just kind of center yourself into the wholeness of the one. I recognize that there is a creative power that is infinite and everywhere present. It can be obviously strong, and it can be subtly gentle. I feel it in each breath in my lungs. It is the wholeness within every atom of my being. This one power is like the ocean, immense and deep, and also reaching for expression on the surface. I am like a wave, individual enough to identify and at the same time completely connected to the one. There is no separation. I am a spiritual being in a human body. At any time I choose where I look. I can choose to see unity, or I can focus on circumstance. My choices feed the fire of the creative process. I know that I have the inner wisdom to make choices for my well-being. Within me is a personal strength that is in fact divine, strength expressing itself through me. I trust that my higher self is constantly with me. I see myself as divine. Limiting conditions are eclipsed by my light. I choose to see health and wholeness in me, for I know health is constantly at work in my body. I accept my unity with divinity. I know there is infinite peace within me. It resides deep within the core of my being. This deep inner peace is my teacher. In gratitude for new ideas and my willingness to make new choices, I release this prayer to the creative law, knowing that the energy of these words meet the one energy and manifest in a shift towards peace and enlightenment. And so it is. And now we welcome our musician for the month, Lynn Floyd, with his piece of Keep On Walking.
Good morning, CSL Denver. Lynn Floyd here with you again. This is a song I wrote with my partner, Danny. It's called Love Cover Me. may be your prayer this morning. As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, and guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. I will not be shaken, I will not be moved. Love, cover me. May my heart awaken and tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. This is your part. It's really easy. It's just one word. It goes like this. Love, 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 love. Sing that with me. Just one word. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred, guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. And back to your part one more time. Love, 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 love. Send it all across Denver this morning. Love, 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 love. And all across the country that needs it so very much. Love, 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 love. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me.
Wow. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And thank you, Gary, for that music of understanding that love is ever abound. There is a continuous flow of love from every corner of the universe, and we are here as able recipients. So good morning and welcome to CSL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love. A spiritual community teaching ancient wisdom and applying universal principles to embody the intelligence of the divine and to empower our lives and the lives of others. So this month, we continue this whole idea of the flow and natural occurrence of prosperity, the wonders of prosperity throughout the universe. And today we will look at this natural flow, this ever-present spirit, this ever-present energy that is always available to us. Now, some of you, I know most of you are familiar with the word Tesla because of the car that Elon Musk has created. But if we go back to the source, to Nikola Tesla, who came up with these ideas on energy and flow, he said this: if you want to find the secret of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and flow. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, then tune into the energy, frequency, and vibration of the universe. And this is what we are charged to do. We are charged to begin to look at the world in a different way, not in a material way, not in a way of conditions or circumstances. We are to begin to look at life as it is, an infinite natural flow of divine energy, of divine light, intelligence, frequency. All of these are synonyms for the one thing, the God energy itself. And so this, I submit to you, is the essence of prosperity, just as it is the essence of life itself. It's something that you feel. It's something that emanates from you, from your entire being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's always available. It's always there. We only need to be aware of it. And when we are, it creates this zest for life, this energy, this approach to creating a world, a life, a moment that is filled with possibilities. Now, if we look back over the time of ancient history up to this point now, from the very beginning, the sun has been used as a metaphor, if you will, as this symbol of reoccurring, always present, natural flow of energy, of light, of love, of prosperity. And even when the sun so-called sets, there is an understanding that there is this cycle of life that creates this energy of expectation, this energy of intuitive knowing that the source, even though it may not be seen, or your present understanding of it may be limited, it's always there. And so that's why we now have these rituals, if you will, of the rising sun and the setting sun, because we understand that these are opportunities for us to be remembered, that no matter how bleak it may be, no matter how lack of light we may find ourselves in, we know that the cycle and the source is always present. It's always present, and it is on a cycle that we begin to tap into. So what we have to begin, Ernest Holmes says, we have to look beyond appearances. We have to look beyond appearances. So even when our lives appear to be out of sync with everything around us. That natural flow of light, that natural flow of energy is still there. Because we understand that there is a relationship in flow, that there is a harmony in flow that keeps us aware of it, that keeps us in expectation, that keeps us readily available to receive. Readily available to receive. Now, here in Colorado, I think we have a real good understanding of what flow is. You know, right now the winter is coming in, but just a few months ago, there was a lot of whitewater rafting still going on and tubing. And so there was this flow, this source that came from the mountains and came down to the streams and rivers. And so when you live in that type of environment, you really understand this source. There's a source in the mountains that's sometimes seen and sometimes unseen that continually provides. It's a natural process. There's this process of precipitation falling and the sun bringing it back up invisibly through evaporation, and then it comes back down, and that natural flow is what we live in every day. It's what we live for every day, because we understand that as we tap into this continual flow, when the stream slows down, we don't get weary. When it seems like it's at a standstill, we understand that there's still movement in the flow of life, in the flow of prosperity. And so when we can have that kind of understanding and that kind of faith in God itself, then we can move about in a natural way, knowing that prosperity is always abound. Because we know that prosperity is a frequency that exists within us. It's not something outside of us. It's something that's within us, and we must surrender to it. And when we do, this way of living life creates a feel, creates an energy, creates an experience that allows us to say yes to life, that allows us to move easily and effortlessly through times that are difficult. And so I would submit that as we continue to understand the flow of life, the natural flow of life, which inevitably creates cycles, that if we take on these 3 points I'm going to share with you today, that the abundance in our life, the prosperity in our life will continue to expand. They will continue to open up and allow us to live life to the fullest. Now, the first thing we want to speak to in terms of a spiritual truth about the flow of abundance in our lives, the flow of prosperity in our lives, is that the source is always available, and it's available to all. It's available to all. So we must begin to say, what am I doing, or what is present in my life, or what am I not aligning myself to that keeps me from recognizing this flow? Even when the sun is hidden behind clouds, the rays, the energy is still coming through. It's available at all times. But are we allowing what appears to be a blockage, a cloud, or something that is not incongruent with the essence of sunlight itself? Are we believing something different because of that? Are we allowing appearances to dictate how we navigate and move about the world? Think about that, because that's key, because that affects the way we think. That affects the way we act. And so if we understand and know that the presence of God, the source of prosperity, is always available, then we can walk in a different way. We can talk in a different way. So we must remain open and receptive regardless of appearances. Regardless of appearances. And so I want to share this first quote here by Ernest Holmes, which says, "We should expect so much good that we should conceive of it as being more than we ever have time to enjoy. We should feel the presence, appreciate, and give thanks for this good." So regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation or what it looks like, this is the idea that we should take into life every day. An expectation, a knowingness that God is always there. Prosperity is always there. Life is always there. And when we do that, we allow untold riches to flow into our life. And now the second thing, now that we know that this flow is always available and regardless of appearances, we must second step into that flow. We can't be sideline participants in life. We can't be sideline participants in the flow of prosperity. You have to step in. It's like a swimming. We can talk about swimming. We can watch videos on swimming. We can do a whole bunch of things about swimming. But the only way for us to learn to swim is we have to jump into the water. We have to be in it. So we have to step into that flow of prosperity. We have to find the rhythm of that water with our body, the relationship, the harmony between us and the water, and create that infinite flow of life, that infinite flow of prosperity, which we know from all of the talks we've had this month is more than material things. It's a way of feeling. It's a way of being. As we said earlier, it is an energy that encompasses all things and allow us to move and manifest all around us. So once we know that we have to find the rhythm and we have to embody it and step into it, then we have to be open to the intuition. We have to be open to that flow. We have to be open to understand that if I'm swimming, I have to keep tune with my rhythm. Now, for all you swimmers out there, you know, when you swim, there's a rhythm between, if you're doing the American crawl, as they call it, there's a rhythm between the strokes and when you turn your head to take that breath. Now, if you get out of sync, you're going to take in a mouthful of water or a nose full of water. Not comfortable. And if you don't relax and get in tune with that rhythm, it's going to be a rough ride to get to the end of what you're doing. But if you can center yourself, if you can embody the flow of that water and get yourself back in the rhythm, you straighten the stroke out. You get the breath back in tune and you step into that flow once again. You step into that flow once again. And to do that, we have to open our hearts and we have to open our spirits to trust that there is a flow, number one, and that number two is infinite, ever ending, that God is always there. With that metaphor of swimming, it's there. It's there. Are we accepting it? Are we stepping into it? And so now that we understand that there's a source that's always there, we understand that for us to really participate in it, we must step into it and become in tune with it. And now this last point could have gone before, or I chose to put it afterward, but once you're in there, you have to understand the flow. You have to understand the flow. Because first and foremost, we have to remember this, that the receiving is always a greater flow from within. The receiving is in the same stream as the giving. They go hand in hand, this inward and outward expression of life. And so when we understand that flow, when we understand that this is how life works, now we can really take advantage of prosperity that flows. Because we know it's a give and take. It's a receiving and giving. It's a exchange of light and energy, which is the essence of all things. And we know that where intention goes, energy flows. So where's our attention? If we're not feeling the prosperity in life, what is our attention on? It's not about not having the consciousness to achieve it. It's about where you're focusing it. If I'm focusing on lack and limitation and all these things that damper my energy, the flow of prosperity in my life will be right along with that, because my mind will become tuned to those ideas and thoughts. But when I flip the script, when I'm able to look in different ways at things that, as they say, look at things as though they are not, that it's a flowing condition, then I can begin to understand how this flow works. Now, I think one of the best metaphors to understanding the flow is a surfer. Now, I don't know how many of you have tried surfing, or if we have any surfers out in the audience today. I tried it, and I'm telling you, I wasn't good at it. I tell you that right now. And the one thing that I understood when I was trying is that when you surf, the first thing you do when you're on your board and you're out waiting for that wave is you're looking for clues. You're looking for how the waves are breaking. You're looking for how the water is flowing. You're looking at a timing to try to understand, when do I paddle and stand up at the right time in the right position to grab this wave? And then once I get up and I'm on the board and I'm in the wave, now I'm trying to adjust myself to find the sweet spot. Where is the sweet spot? Not only on the surfboard itself, but where is the sweet spot in the wave? Where is the sweet spot in the wave? That prosperity flow that's moving forward. And then once I find that sweet spot, now I just have to be in tune, and I ride the rhythm of that wave. I ride the rhythm of that wave. And so when we can do that in life, when we can understand that there's a source of all things that's always available, and that to experience it, to use it, we must step into it. And while we're there, we become aware and understand how it works, how we use it. When we do that, we can relax into the knowing of this topic, of this thing from the Course in Miracles says, the universe does not punish or reward us. It simply reflects where we are in our hearts and mind. Every thought and idea counts. Every thought and idea counts. So this is how we have to begin life. We begin to look at life in a way of give and take. We look at prosperity as a flow of in and out. And when we do this, we see changes in our life. We see changes in our relationship. We see changes in our material things, because we understand that where my thought goes, where my consciousness goes, things manifest. That's where the energy flows. And so I would submit that this is our charge, not just for the week, but every day. It's to find that flow of abundance, that flow of life itself. Understand it, step into it, and allow it to be the essence of who we are, because it's already that. The essence of us is the essence of God. And so when we can tap into that and tune into that, then prosperity flows, whether it's with health or wealth or relationships. They're all the same thing. It's an exchange of energy in the cycle of life. And so when we move forward this week, let's think about this call to action, these points of action here that allow us to find the spot. Let us look for where there may be blockage in our flow. What am I doing? What am I not focusing on? What am I allowing to appear as blockages in the flow of life? We all have them. We just need to tune in and find out what they are and where am I in relationship to it. And then the obvious is, what can I do to continually remain open to the flow? Once I find out what's blocking it, how do I continue to remain open so that it flows, so that it doesn't get blocked? Because that's the essence of life, is allowing the divine energy to flow through us. And so now, as we prepare to move forward for this week, we have the affirmation for this week, and tune into this affirmation of how we should move. I trust and live in the infinite flow of abundant good. I trust and live in the abundant flow of good. And when we can do that, when we allow this energy to wash over us, there is nothing that we can't do. There's no place where we are not secure. There's nothing that hampers the divine image and presence of God that is always present. So with that, let's go into prayer. Dear Mother, Father God, that divine energy that flows through all things, that presence that is moving in our affairs, that are moving in our relationships, that awakens us to a new sunrise, where all things are possible, where all things are clear. Because we understand that the flow of life is a continual process. It evolves, it unfolds. It makes itself known as we begin to tune in to the process of life. And so I know that each and every one of us are fine-tuning ourselves right here, right now. We're beginning to find the tenor of our voice and the base of our foundation. And we are beginning to tune in to this prosperity that is everywhere present. Because I know that no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what life looks like right now, the flow can move things out of our lives just as well as bring them into our lives. And so we now open to that inflowing presence of God, that inflowing spirit of the divine that leads us and guides us and supports us and heals us in all aspects of our life, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, so that we can be whole participants in this natural flow of life, in this natural way of living. And when that happens, life unfolds beautifully. It opens up to a way of relating to others and relating to nature, and more importantly, relating to ourselves and God within, that we see each day, each event in our life as an opportunity to be more of an example of prosperity. And so it is in that understanding of what prosperity is and how it flows, and knowing that we are vessels of it, I give thanks. I give thanks for this opportunity for us to learn the flow, to understand how we tune in and tune up, so that we know without a doubt that wherever we are, God is. And so in that understanding that God is all there is and is everywhere present, I release this prayer into a law that is infallible, into a law that is the very law of prosperity itself, that returns to us manyfold. And so I release, I let go, and I know that it is so, and so it is. Amen, amen, and amen. And so let's go out this week and find that flow of prosperity, however we need to, whether it's in spirit, finances, relationships, whatever. And so it is now that time for the offering, that continual flow of prosperity. And we are so grateful and blessed for everyone's support for CSL Denver as we continue to move into a new sphere of life, as we continue to move into a new way of expressing our community. Whether this is your first time joining us or you're a returning community participant, we want to thank you for your continued support. The information running across the bottom of the screen are the many different ways that you can give and support us. And we can just lovingly expect and know that that blessing that you give will return to you manyfold. And so you can use your phone and text, or you can go to the website and hit the donate button, or you can tie your Amazon account or your King Troopers account to our organization, and we will get a percentage of the money that's spent with those sources. So however you continue to give, we thank you. And so let us say this affirmation as we hold our hand to our heart, if that feels comfortable. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Elzia. Beautiful, beautiful talk. Okay, now our usual virtual fellowships on Zoom this morning, and we'd love you to come join us. Let us know how you're doing. It'll be just shortly after the service ends. If you didn't receive the invitation, please send an email to info@csldenver.org. That's info@csldenver.org. Mention fellowship, and we'll send you a Zoom invitation right away. Also, if you would like to hear some good news of the world to offset some of the other stuff going on, we have a link on our Facebook page called And Now the Good News. This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page, click on any post that says, And Now the Good News. New Thought Media Network has over 40 hours of weekly broadcast programs, including prayer time at 8:15 a.m. and p.m. every day. Wisdom of the Mystics and Your Doula for Grief, along with New Thought Radio, to name a few. We invite you to go to www.ntmedia.org. www.ntmedia.org. Check out what they have. There's something for everyone. Meanwhile, we hope you all have a wonderful week. We're closing in on the year 2022, and we know right here, right now, that 2022 is blessed and perfect in all that it is. We love you, we miss you, and please take care of yourselves. Now let's close out with Michael Gott singing, I Release and I Let Go.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God